Hey y'all, it's Sunday morning and I got something to talk about, so you're gonna exercise with me. I like to get exercise done before we do our D&D meetup because it's hours of sitting, and I know I said I was only gonna take these Fitbangs once a week because honestly, normally when I exercise, I want to be in the zone. I don't want to have to worry about, talking and exercising at the same time. But as you know, yesterday after I did my bonnet live, people couldn't wait to let me know that the heifer once again brought me up in her community tab. She didn't use my name this time because she knows. She knows what she did in boosting my channel by attacking me in the first place, using my picture, and got into trouble for that. Now she is calling me the no teeth lady, and that is her insult for me. You know what, bitch, if that's all you've got to try to attack me, when I've made it clear that I'm not ashamed. I show the damage that I did to myself because I'm still working towards my goal weight. And honestly speaking, there's no shame in wearing your battle scars. But you could never misfilter. You could never understand what it's like to be the kind of person that realizes that going through what I went through is not shameful. It is a part of the cycle of getting mental health help, is understanding that you're going to show visible scars when you've done damage to yourself over the years. And it's not about letting your flaws be something to shame you. It's about standing tall, or in my case, since I'm short, just standing firm with the belief that I'm good. I'm in a good place. But if that's going to be your nickname for me, Chantal, you need to understand who you're coming from, bitch. Because I know you brought me up in the realm of defending your latest grift and linking your PayPal. Now, unlike others, I spent Saturday showcasing parody channels of you, showcasing talented artists who could draw you, Scatman, and everything else. Because I'm honestly just tired of your nonsense. But I heard, like everybody else, about your linking your PayPal, asking people to furnish the alleged apartment you got, because at 40, there's no shame to your game. And normally when people ask for help, I mind my business. I know as a Gen Xer, for years it was hard for me to ask for help. And it still can be. But I'm not going to act like I never have. I'm not going to act like I've never linked my PayPal. I don't normally care about that, even for people like you. I just mind my business. I don't coin watch. But I know that's a thing here on YouTube. I know that's the thing because people are like, oh, that's the lady that uses a bunch of super chats to get attention. No, I use my super chats to call Chantal out. I use my super chats to show appreciation. I don't have to buy any fucking body. And need I remind you, the reason this channel blew up was because the heifer put my name in her big old binging mouth. And I know she was using it to say, well, if you're saying that I had to buy my husband, well, what about FFG? What about that no teeth woman? Bitch, I did not have to buy my man. Because I know you watched that live clapback I did of you. I know you watch my Fitbang. I know you watch anything that is addressed to you or about you, heifer. So the fact that you're on here talking about, well, it's the same as saying they did that. First of all, just like FFG, I don't make my channel about my relationship. I don't want people in my business like that. And that's just how it is. You're the one who decided to devote a channel to your relationships, wanting a couples channel, wanting to show off your eye candy, as you called them, your own words, then get mad when you drop the bombshell that, well, he doesn't have a job either. When you couple that with all the little things, like his friend literally going on panel saying that you gave Scatman $9K of your YouTube money to convince him that you were the big deal, which, I don't normally care about stuff like that. But why would he tell his friend something like that if it wasn't true? Then you have the fact that when you broke up temporarily after the K-Bella stuff, that You were in that car saying, well, how are you going to pay for the Timu car then? You go all over the place. You got like a 10-lane highway brain, and you're constantly telling on yourself, and your only recourse is to go, well, I don't remember saying that. But it's documented. It's literally on tape. You have a relationship that's either contractual or he full out scammed you out of money just so that you can say he claimed you. I don't understand why you think all big girls are in the same boat as you. First of all, if all of our big asses were in the boat, it'd probably sink. That's a little humor at myself. But on top of this, the fact of the matter is, you didn't even try to find real love. I told it yesterday, I believe, on the Saturday Bonnet Live, that my partnership, because that's what it is, nobody just takes care of one. It's 50-50 in our house, because that's how you have a solid relationship. But I told them I met my now husband online years ago in a video game. We started talking, we were just friends. We spent years just talking about deep stuff, whether it was spiritual, whether it was world news and politics. And we didn't always see eye to eye because he grew up in a fundamental religious family. So when I say that our conversations went all over the place, but sometimes devolved into a back and forth, they did. But we kept getting close. And then we started visiting each other. He came down when I lived in North Carolina. I went up to Michigan. Every time we traveled, even when we were just friends, everything was well planned, to the hotel room, to the comfort class seats, because I don't like traveling economy. And I noticed that you brought that up in the latest rant, that you had to fly economy and your man bought you that. Why couldn't you buy your own tickets? Oh, that's right. You put all your finances in Salah's control because you're a dummy. I have my own bank account. He has his own bank account, and we have a joint account like normal couples do. Because as somebody who really survived and fled an abusive situation, I would never put myself in the position where somebody controls my finances 100%, ever. Even if I full on, like I trust, my husband, I always have to have that comfort of knowing if shit got bad, I have a way out. That is how I, once again, know that some of the shit you've been saying about the Canadian crack demon don't math. Because the fact that you could go from that alleged traumatic situation to something where a man is literally controlling everything you do and say, I don't know. I guess there's a spectrum. Maybe if I want to play devil's advocate, that some people just think that that's a normal way to be. Having no control in their life, making a partner do stuff for them, being treated like a baby. And I'm going to tell you, as somebody who I never want to be in that situation again with anybody, point blank period. I would never let somebody fully control my finances at all. That math don't math, effer. But you kept saying stuff like, well, if you're accusing me, then you must be saying that about them. And no, they're not. You want to know why? Because we don't have 7 years of documented whining about needing a relationship. We don't have couples channels. We don't put in people's faces that we are in relationships like that. My husband sometimes comes out when I'm on these bikes and stuff, doing his thing because it's our house. But it's very rare that I make him get in front of a camera and address the girl world stuff, because he don't care about that stuff on that level. He knows I'm fully invested into it, but he got his own stuff going on. And you aren't even a thought process for him. So the fact that you got to bring up that big girls got to get a man by payment, honey, just look in the mirror, okay? Because I know you can't get it. You know you can't get it. But the fact that you think the rest of us can't shows how self-centered and narcissistic you are. I think it's hilarious, though, that to try to skirt around the last time out, you just decided to use an insult that I'm not ashamed of. I told you, bitch, I played the dozens with my failure. You're going to have to come way harder than that if you want to even get to me. And since I don't wear my insecurities on my sleeve like you do, Miss Rage about money, Miss Rage about your relationship, Miss Drag everybody else into the fray because you can't keep a man without payment, and that shit's documented too. I think about it when I watch the archives. Quick pause, get back to cycling. You're the one who is on record buying yourself an engagement ring when you were chasing the Canadian crack demon. He and you were both online, and I remember watching that archive too, where he dropped the beans that you paid him $2K a month to live, just for the off chance of him claiming you. You really want to go there with people who have to buy their men when you're the one with the receipts of having to do so? Like, honey, I know you think this lashing out will get you attention. This lashing out will probably trick your beezers into thinking that you're the victim again. But all it makes you look is petty and foolish, because there's been 2 credible sources that you finance your relationships. And you know you do. And it ain't about being rich. Because I know you still like to use that argument to try to throw people off or maybe confuse your beezers. Well, yeah, she said she doesn't make a lot of money now. How can she afford this stuff? When there's a foolish will, there's a foolish way. You will take anything you can to keep this facade of a relationship up, to prove to people that you're desirable when you don't even understand yourself yet. When you refuse to get the help so that you can maybe get past whatever traumas you claim to have and start working on some fucking self-worth. Because once you have self-worth, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're single, no one can say shit about you that will faze you. But instead of working on yourself, instead of doing what you need to fucking do to get your mind right, and maybe even start working to get your body right, you would rather pick fights with somebody who you already have my channel out, bitch. What else do you want? Like, I don't understand what you think you're doing. I don't understand if it's you just trying to self-destruct, if you're trying to tank yourself, or if you really think you're just badass, petty-ass bitch that can take jabs at people. But it's nice to know I rent a space in your empty head now. It's nice to know that that is the only insult you think you can throw at me. And it's nice that people are starting to make the connection. How, before me, it was Charlie Gold, wasn't it? You seem to have a thing about melanated women, Chantal. I tried not to go there, but I watched an archive of Mr. Snowflakes where you just kept going on. The little Popeyes apology that wasn't really an apology because you took it right back. Calling her coal when you tried to argue that it was because it was a less valuable resource. Are you fucking dumb? Coal is the main fuel source of a lot of countries still, and it's still $1 billion industry. So even in your weak ass insults, you were dumb. But when Charlie responded back and showed you the historical connotations of why calling somebody with brown and black skin coal is racist, you double down. Just like you double down with the anti-Semitic comments to FFG. And I'm sure you're breathing that funkle brain of yours to figure out what you can say more about me besides my teeth. And you can go on talking about them, honey. I might have visible dental damage, but what I also have is a published book, my own house, a loving family, and a support system that isn't just online. Yes, there are plenty of people that I met on the internet, especially in my days on Twitter, that I am ride or die with. You might have seen some of them. They're my mods. There are plenty of people that I have found genuine and sweet that I enjoy talking to on a regular. But when I turn my devices off, I also have real physical people that I see on the regular. I am aunting them twice over from our best friends. We have my niece and nephew that I adore. And me and the hubby compete, giving them like gifts and stuff, little toys and stuff to see which one. The little boy's a toddler now, and the little girl's gonna be a toddler in a couple of weeks. And that's the fun in your life that you should be leading. But you sat in your car and said, Well, I don't have time for friends. I don't want to deal with that right now. I just can't. I just can't. It's always what you can't do. It's always about your struggling. And like I said, it has nothing to fucking do with the alleged e-begging. I don't care about that. Honestly, get your coin however you can, heifer. It's sad that you have to do all this when you're supposedly a content creator. But it ain't none of my business how you get your money. I just don't care. But when you start pulling me in to your stupid ass, lame ass orbit with the weakest insult you can do, when you have to do this because it's the only way you'll get reaction channels to keep paying attention to you, because I'm telling you, seeing you gorge yourself into an early grave isn't interesting to people anymore. They are sick of it. You don't have the personality of Hungry Fat Chick where some people do sympathize with candy. You don't have ALR's weird quirks and ability to lie about relationships the way she does, and lie about a lot of things apparently. You don't have much, Chantal, and I think that shocking, heavy realization is starting to hit you, and it makes you mad. And instead of saying, okay, I'm mad at this, how dare they say this, I'm going to really work on myself and glow the fuck up, and even if they still tease me, I know I got this. Instead, you sit in the car, you complain about your health, you try to pick fights, and you just don't seem to understand that you're the one that looks like the asshole. You're the one that still looks like somebody that has to prove something, instead of just living your life. Instead of just being you no matter what people say. Because you live a life where everybody's opinions mean fuck all to you. And when you wear your insecurities so fucking visibly, when you're so afraid to be your unapologetic self, when you chameleon yourself, whether it's relationship or whether you're just wanting the bees, as you call it, when you put on and act the way you do, it's going to be expected that any critique, any criticism sends you into rage mode. And you need to just simmer the fuck down, figure out where you want to be, whether it's in Canada or Kuwait, and realize that no matter what your choices are, for better or worse, because of how nasty, catty, and want to be petty you've been, you are going to be the target of some people. Not everybody on the internet is well liked, and even those who are well liked often have people that just don't like them for whatever reason. I tell people all the time, I'm not here to be everybody's best friend. I'm not here to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm just here. People can like me, people can hate me. I don't give a fuck. But what I'm not going to do is act like every time somebody says something insulting, which they've been doing for years. You think YouTube is my first venture in showing myself online? You think you're the only person who has dinged me for my visible dental damage? Bitch, if I was afraid of being called out for the fucking dental rot that I did to myself from binging and purging, I would never show myself. But I know what I did to myself. I know what I'm doing for my health now. I also know that you could never. You were out of breath in that car, just talking and eating. You ate a big ass box of fucking food. I told people, and I mean it, there will never be mukbangs on this channel, only Fitbangs. Only 10 talking about topics that I want to talk about, talking about my life, and sometimes having to clap back the heifer apparently. And when she was talking about the economy flight that she took, now I don't want to shit on those who budget travel because it does save you money when you can. But for me, because I've always been a thicker sister, especially a lower half, good lord, I've always made it a point to book my seats because I'm weird. I cannot travel without a plan. I don't like last minute traveling. It's just not my style. I like having a plan for where I go anywhere. Especially when I started traveling with kiddo. So I always went with Delta, because Delta has comfort class. You can book your seats ahead of time. You know exactly where you're seating. You get priority boarding. It is so nice and lovely. And I just can't understand why Miss World Traveler, who likes to flex from time to time, but then acts like she's broke, You know, I can't tell her to pick a lane because, like I said, 10-lane highway brain. But I can't even imagine getting on the plane and not knowing where I'm going to sit, praying that nobody sits next to me, and inconveniencing people. And she just doesn't seem to care about that. And, hey, honey, I don't understand why you think that we're the same. This isn't the brag. This isn't the flex. There were times where, especially when we were just coming up for Comic-Con, that I saved for months to make sure I could pay off the hotel and the plane. Because at that time, I wasn't accepting my man paying for me because, no. Once we became married, it is a lot harder for me to argue about him paying for certain stuff. But bills split 50-50. I even said it yesterday on the live that when he moved in with me, we got a new fridge. I had a new washer and dryer that I bought myself, and I thought we were going to move them up here because I'm used to them. I love my appliances. But because I married their youngest, and because his family is very involved in our life, they bought us a new fridge, they bought us a new stove, and we got a new washer and dryer set. That's what family does when you marry into them. That is what family does when they want to be in your life and show you that you are a part of their family. Say what you want, Chantel, but we have visible proof that that's not your life. Plenty of times in Kuwait, sitting in the living room cutting vegetables, which that so fucks me up. I don't even understand it. I'm gonna leave that alone. But you've shown that they aren't in your life. And I know, privacy. But most families give actual wedding gifts. The only thing you had to show for it, besides the weight gain, which you think that we couldn't notice until you finally was like, well, I'm fat, big whoop. Now all of a sudden you want to own your fat like we can't see it. Like we ain't got eyeballs in our heads. But that ring. And I don't shit on rings, even though you tried to shit on mine, calling it a tiny diamond. Though, bitch, it's a real diamond, so... The thing is, I feel like you don't seem to understand that when you have the real, people can speculate and say what they want, and they're gonna. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But if it ain't true, you wouldn't be such a hit dog that hollers. If it ain't true, you wouldn't be sitting there raging on your community tab, which you're just gonna either edit or take down anyway. Do you. And stop worrying about what everybody else does. Do you, and maybe stop watching stuff that triggers you. I don't fucking understand why you think this was a flex or this was something that you could be proud of. You just literally said to the world that you think fat women are all in the same boat as you. It's all in the same boat when it comes to love, relationships, getting our shit together, and we're not. Some of us really looked in the mirror, full-length mirror, and realized, wow, you did yourself dirty, girl. You gotta get your shit together. Some of us continue to plug away with our passion projects. For me, writing, and hopefully soon, animation and webcomics. Taking care of my family, watching my son get ready to graduate. Growing old with my partner, because we talked about that last night, how we just want to get to that age when we're sitting on our porch just giggling at nothing. Because that is the life goal for people who really love and want to be with each other. And I'll say it again, like I said yesterday too. As a sociopath, I don't fall for the romantic sonnets or superficial love shit. I need to trust who I'm with. I need to feel safe with who I'm with. I need to be able to be my unapologetic self with the partner I'm with. I can't play those games of, oh, he bought me this, or he gives me that, because that shit, you should have that attitude in high school maybe. But when you're an adult, and when you've gone through a lot of stuff that I've gone through, fuck all of those platitudes. Who the hell needs somebody that can waste money on shit that's gonna wilt instead of, hey, let's save so that we can maybe put rose bushes on our property one day? Who wants a partner that doesn't see a proper future together? I can't imagine giving my time and energy to somebody who does not want a solid future with me and who wants us to last beyond that too. The fact of the matter is, Chantal, I know why you sniped at me. I know that you're jealous. You accused everybody else of being jealous. But there's nothing in your life remotely that I would be jealous of. Unlike you, I realized my mistakes early on. Unlike you, I'm willing to take accountability. And it took a lot of therapy for me to get like that. Because like I said, I'm a diagnosed sociopath. I can turn that side of my brain off at will. And I have at time to time. Because when I feel justified for something, it is what it is. But what differs you, who is undiagnosed, from me, is that I'm willing to get the help when I can't sleep proper. I'm willing to get the help if my routine falls off and the manic starts cropping up. I've got a doctor's appointment next week as it is because I keep up on all of that stuff. I feel like you could never, because this is all a game for you. And you have fooled enough people who support you. No shame to them if they like you, even though I couldn't. Your history of harming animals, of harming friends, of harming partners, of using financial manipulation to get your partners, and then turning it around and acting like they mistreated you. Yeah, no. We are definitely not the same, honey. And I think you saw when I did that live clapback, showing you that what you said will never fucking stick to me. Because it's all your insecurities you were trying to project onto me. That you decided, well, nope, I'm going to keep picking at her teeth, bitch, I show my dental damage. You can call me toothless. I apparently don't open my mouth wide enough to show that it's only the front teeth that are damaged. But it's okay, because none of that matters. What does matter is you need to get your life together. You say you're taking the time off. People have speculated that that's not true. I don't care either way. Saturday Bonnet Live has plenty of pools of editors and talented people that I'm finding on YouTube every day that I want to showcase. And I think it's ridiculous that you think that Girl World only revolves around you, that people have nothing else to talk about. When I was on a panel almost 2 weeks ago, we talked about everything. And I had to really expand on mental health and why I take it so seriously. I've been invited on other panels. Once I get my setup proper, because I don't want to keep doing that in my room, and I don't want to inconvenience my partner. He has been very generous at nights, especially when I get on panel, that one panel, and we went extra late. Man got to work, and you know, you just don't want to do that when you care about your husband. So until my situation, once kiddo graduates, change, and I can set up a newer area to do my lives and recordings and stuff, no, I don't see myself getting on a lot of panels unless it's during the day and I have the time, but I enjoyed it. In fact, I was talking with somebody dear to me. They want me to create one with the first winners of the giveaway, and I am very interested in that. I don't use StreamYard yet, but I will figure that out. Just like I figured out OBS, it's all a learning process to me. And my motto has always been, while you're living, you should be learning. Whether it's a new language, whether it's just a craft skill, and I don't say just a craft skill because crafters are amazing. Whether it's training your brain how to do anything new, you should be learning. But unfortunately for you, Chantal, you would rather be whining, you would rather be binging, you would rather be raging, and doing nothing to change your life or yourself. And you can get as mad at me as you want because I got my shit and I'm getting it together, and I am not going to act like, you know, I always have it together because I deal with manic. But what I will never do is sit here and tell people that what I'm going through is their fault. Whew. 30 minutes, worked up a sweat. Y'all, I just don't understand how somebody could waste all the goodwill that they used to have with friends, probably with family now, with the people that support them by constantly doing these same repetitive ineffective things to change their lives. I don't understand how she can blame anybody but herself for her current situation. But I know one thing. Every time she tries to come at me with that lame insult about my teeth, which I don't hide, see, I'm just going to keep living my best life because that seems to be the best clapback to her nonsense. Now, I will be doing another Fitbang on Tuesday or Wednesday. It depends because we got to get out to town to mail off some stuff. But, you know, I wanted to do this extra one because, honestly speaking, the fact that she's going to keep doing stuff like that, thinking that she's going to get a rage out of me, when no, I can calmly clap you back. Nothing you say angers me because it's not true. You know it's not true. You give yourself away by thinking that bigger women have to pay for relationships, especially since you're the only one out of the two that you tried to bring into this situation that has a documented history of doing so. So maybe, just maybe, simmer down, go to that alleged psychiatry thing, get that apartment you said you got together, and stop being a big baby because you're 40. Grow the fuck up. I'll see y'all all pretty much soon, probably next week, with an all-new Fitbang. I am going to go get cleaned up, get ready for D&D, and have just a good Sunday. And I hope that you all have a good Sunday. Don't let people who think they're better than you get over on you. Because a lot of times they're just insecure little fuckers that think that they can make digs that would hurt them if it was thrown at them. Either way, I'll see y'all soon.